1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, back when I was 5 years old, I was really into Pokemon. Everyone in my town loved Pokemon. All my cousins, all my friends, we all played Pokemon and we all loved Pokemon. And so for Christmas, my mom went ahead and bought me a Pokemon card pack. And so I opened it up on Christmas morning, and what do I find? I find one of the rarest cards in the world that I did not know at the time was one of the rarest cards, but it was the base set Charizard, which in its heyday has been worth up to $15,000. But I was 5 years old and I didn't take care of cards that well, so it's probably not worth that much at all anymore, at least my copy. Well, anyway, so Charizard is an original Pokemon, and he is finally returned to the competitive scene after years of being out of it. And so to understand what Charizard is, I'm going to give you its basic anatomy, its relevant use over the years, and then how it's received extra dual forms. But first off, when you get a Charizard, according to an article by the Cerebi.net editors, when you hatch its egg, or when you first receive it from the Pokemon professor in the game, you have an 88% chance of it being male, and a 12% chance of it being female. So Charizard is a Pokemon, but what exactly is a Pokemon? Pokemon comes from the word pocket monster, or term pocket monsters. It was created in Japan by Satoshi Chojiri back in the 1990s, and he came up with the idea because when he grew up as a little kid, he would always go out and catch little bugs. So if you like Pokemon, you gotta thank the bugs, because that's what brought him about. Anyway, so he was a creator, and he created this expansive world that so many people love, kids and adults alike. Anyway, so Charizard, he's an original fan favorite. So many people had him. I had him in my first playthrough of Pokemon Red way back in the day. Anyway, so the anatomy of Charizard. According to Pokemon.com's Pokedex, which is an encyclopedia of sorts for Pokemon, it states, Charizard breathes fire of such great heat that it melts anything. However, it never turns its fiery breath on an opponent weaker than itself. So Charizard stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall. He is a fire flying type Pokemon, and he is 200 pounds. He has relatively high base special attack, which is what makes him relatively strong. Now, the difference between special attack and regular attack is that when you do a certain move, they will either be a special move or a physical move. So like tackle, that would, be tackling your opponent, physically hitting them, versus Charizard can learn Flamethrower, which is a special move because he's not physically doing anything. So, having been around since the beginning, Charizard has had some notable usage. In the original games, which are Red and Blue, his relevant use was quite high. He was a powerhouse. He was one of the best fire types around. He had above average speed, and he had good attacking stats. But even though he was a fire flying type and had wings, he could not learn Fly. This was fixed though in the second generation of those games, Pokemon Yellow version, and he could actually learn Fly. So Charizard saw a whole lot of use because he was an all-around powerhouse. But as time went on, more Pokemon came out. Newer games, newer, better Pokemon arrived and hit the scene, and they were all just doing things better than what Charizard could do. His stats were good in Red and Blue, but as the new games came out, it just wasn't as good as what it once was. And even in Red and Blue, though, there was another Pokemon, Dragonite, which was a dragon flying type, that did everything Charizard wanted to do, but better. So, not until the games Pokemon X and Y did Charizard get a boost to his power, making him return to the competitive scene. So, in X and Y, they introduced this new concept called Mega Evolution, in which your Pokemon could evolve again within battle to get even better stats and better powers, and sometimes change its typing. So Charizard got lucky and he got two of these. He got two dual forms, one for X, one for Y. This greatly helped restore his prominence to the competitive scene again, because these typings and these moves and this boost was really good. So in X, Charizard gained the Dragon type. he gained a big boost to his attack, his defense, and his special attack. So he became a fire dragon that had very good physical attacks. His Y counterpart, the Charizard Y version, he maintained the exact same fire flying type, but he received a huge boost to his special attack and a relatively decent boost to his special defense. And he also gained the ability to bring the sun out into the battle whenever he entered the battle, which increases the power of his fire type moves. So, according to the editors of Smogon.com, and Smogon is an online-based community where they create different varying ways to use Pokemon, and they talk about it and show how each one could interact with each other. And so, according to those editors, they say that the Charizard Y version is best as a wall-breaking Pokemon. He has access to many different types of moves, and he can cripple so many different Pokemons because of his sheer power. So he allows the main user to set up an opportunity to finish off with another strong Pokemon and just basically wreck the entire other team. So, in conclusion, Charizard has been a fan favorite for years, and he is finally able to be competitive again. He has increased options for use by Smogon and a higher competitive rating, which proves that he is finally, returning back to the spotlight again. Charizard's a great Pokemon, and he has struggled as new Pokemon came, but he has finally returned to, his former glory. So, all in all, Pokemon is a very enjoyable game, with Charizard being one of the most fun Pokemon, and everyone should play Pokemon.